It was a moment that changed America. 55 years ago this month, thousands of African-American children walked out of their schools and began a peaceful march in Birmingham, Alabama, to protest segregation. They were met with attack dogs and water hoses. The disturbing images shocked the nation and became the catalyst for the Civil Rights Act. This moment in history has now come alive for a group of students who traveled to Birmingham. Special correspondent Lisa Stark of our partner Education Week went along with them as part of our series, Race Matters.
Everywhere that I went, this is what I always saw: colored and white.
These 5th and 6th graders are mesmerized.
Our restaurants, our dentist's office, our doctor's office, everywhere that we went, this is what we always saw when I was your age.
John Alexander and Charles Avery grew up in the segregated South.
My dad asked me, what is your greatest ambition in life, son? I said, to drink out of that water fountain, talking about that white water fountain. We just wanted to know what it tastes like.
For those listening, these stories are now much more than just a chapter in a history book. Here's Amari and Avion.
They use the word I, as in like they're like themselves. So you're actually looking at the person.
We get to hear their perspective on it because nobody can tell their story better than the person who actually experienced it.
We believe in the power of immersion and the power of bringing history to life for our students.
Francesca Peck is the Director of Culture and Character for the Polaris Charter Academy in Chicago, a school with an in-depth curriculum that stresses first-hand learning.
Let's come immerse ourselves, let's come experience it, let's come to the primary source and get a feel of what it was like to live at that time.
To do that, these Chicago 5th and 6th graders traveled 10 hours and more than 600 miles from Illinois to Alabama.
Welcome to Birmingham, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourselves a round of applause. We have made it.
Birmingham, the site of the 1963 Children's Crusade. Thousands of young black students left their classrooms to march against segregation. These students are here to examine and record their own thoughts on what transpired back then and why. This class visit to Birmingham isn't a field trip, it's field work, and it puts the students right at the center of their own research project. It comes after a year of preparation in the classroom, studying the civil rights movement.
And they were singing one word over and over.
They have watched documentaries.
Don't worry about your children, they're going to be all right.
Analyzed photographs.
What are they trying to accomplish?
They're trying to accomplish their freedom. They're trying to earn what they work for.
Dissected first-hand accounts and studied the arc of civil rights history. Polaris Charter Academy is largely African American and low income. The school's mission includes instilling a sense of activism and social justice.
It's not just enough that children are critical thinkers and that children are producing high quality work and that they are of like great character, but really that they see themselves as agents of change in their community.
So they're here retracing steps child activists took 55 years ago, visiting the 16th Street Baptist Church, where marchers gathered.
Being inside of it made me feel kind of excited, because like I knew that Martin Luther King was in that same exact spot, in that same exact place.
Studying the memorials in the park, where authorities decades ago unleashed dogs and water hoses against the protesters.
I feel like,
How does this make you feel?
Angry.
Tell me more, why?
The white people want the dog to bite humans, and they're not treating humans as humans.
They teach people in kindergarten that everyone is equal and like to just be kind, and that the fact that they were so brutal to African Americans is not okay.
They're confronting some of the most frightening symbols of the time and meeting men and women who were young students themselves when they marched for equal rights.
It's your first time in Birmingham? Okay, we got something to show you.
Janice Kelsey was 16 during what became known as the Children's Crusade.
And we sang "We Shall Overcome." And we walked out in pairs, and we were stopped by police officers who told us, you stay in this line, you're going to jail. I had already made up my mind I was going to jail. And that's exactly where I went for 4 days.
So this is holy ground. All of this, young people, all of this is where it all happened.
Raymond Goolsby was 17 at the time and recalls his fear waiting in the 16th Street Baptist Church to begin the march.
Now, my group was the first group out, and I'm sitting there shaking like a leaf on a tree in the building before we walked out. And I said, man, I don't know what I want to do. There's all these Billy Club police standing out there with the Billy Club.
The stark images from that time, now memorialized, shocked the nation, leading to a fierce backlash. Birmingham leaders buckled, releasing the students from jail and agreeing to begin desegregation.
I feel thankful for the people that went through all this, because if they would never went through it, that means I would have to went through it. And I know from me right now, I wouldn't be that brave enough to do what they did.
4 months later, angry white supremacists would place a bomb at the 16th Street Baptist Church, killing 4 young girls, including Cynthia Wesley, Janice Kelsey's close friend.
Because she gave up her life for things that I believed in, then I agreed to talk about it to young people so that you will know what it took to get to where we are.
Today, of course, Birmingham is a very different city, the nation a different place. But these students are encouraged to connect the past with the present.
We are here to answer the question, how do members of a community affect change?
If you guys could march today, what would you march for?
Well, one I would march for gun violence, and I'll also march for like justice.
What about you? What would you march for today?
I'll march for the same things: less peace and gun violence, like so people can stop killing each other.
Many of these students live in neighborhoods touched by violence.
You know, like we need to make a difference, but it's just like, can really one person make a difference in the world? Like some people don't believe that kids can actually make a change, but I believe kids can actually make a change.
With encouragement from those who have come before.
What you got to do is study hard. Come and you'll be able to compete for whatever you want to do. The sky's the limit with you young people. The sky is the limit.
A future shaped by those early civil rights activists.
I'll definitely remember it because it's part of my history, because it's a part of people who are like me, and it's our story. And this generation, they have to decide on whether they're gonna make a story like that this generation did.
For the PBS NewsHour and Education Week, I'm Lisa Stark in Birmingham, Alabama.